you are going to change your life in 60 days and become unrecognizable, and here's how. By the end of this episode, you're going to learn why fear holds you back, how to become unrecognizable and live your dream life that you've created. I'm going to expose the secrets to healing and building it girl level confidence. And of course, actionable tips for my anxious girlies on how to build confidence and glow up for good. I'm Madison Haynes, host of the Get Up and Glow podcast and your self-improvement fairy godmother. Let's get right into it. Chapter 1, why you fear change and how it is holding you back. You fear change because it is unknown. Right now, no matter how shitty your situation is, you know the outcome of it, okay? You know if you go to work every day or go to school and hang out with those friends, how you are going to feel. And even though in moments you feel bad about yourself, you feel like crap, it is better than the idea of leaving that situation for something you have no idea about the outcome of. Your fear of change can stem from so many different things, whether it be the way you were raised, who you hang around with, your outlook on life, or it could just be the way that you were programmed. For instance, if you grew up in a household that was very cynical and everyone is very negative, you might have a fear of the unknown, of change, because you have a bad outlook on it. And you just don't see the point of trying anything new. Humans are naturally conditioned to want to hold on to control and to fear the unknown. It's just an evolutionary concept. So your fear of change is just an outcome of nature and nurture. So it's not something to feel bad about. But you are not going to let your fear of change hold you back to living your dream life. Instead, you're going to drive right through those emotions. You're going to validate yourself. You're going to understand that it is going to be hard, but you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you know with change and the hard emotions that come with that comes beautiful self-growth. And you are going to come out on the other side of it feeling better, feeling stronger, feeling like that girl. No, it won't be easy, but yes, it absolutely will be worth it. And here's why. The best glow-ups come from breakups. Think about it. You're devastated. It is horrible. It's truly not a great feeling. But as you go through the breakup, you start realizing your self-worth. You start looking back on that relationship and being like, wow, I can't believe I tolerated this type of behavior. And then you want to hard launch yourself into a new, refined, rebranded version of you. You start taking better care of yourself. You start having more time to prioritize self-care, maybe to get to the gym. You realize that you have the opportunity to create a new life for yourself. It is a fresh start. Think about it. All movies and TV shows are based around continuous change. Otherwise, the plot would get boring. So how on earth do you expect yourself to stay in the same place and be able to somehow magically get to your dream life? If you were bored, if you were in a rut, it is probably because you need to find a way to change a certain situation, whether it's a routine or a big lifestyle change that you have been holding yourself back on. Start changing your mindset and how you view change as if it's a chapter in your movie or in a season of your TV show where you're growing and becoming this amazing character. Get excited about it. It is rebranding time. It is a fresh start. And I know this process holds so much anxiety from you, and it's going to be hard, and I'm not here to say change is easy. You're going to flip a light switch and just embrace it and move on with your life effortlessly. But what you need to do is not let those emotions hold you back from getting to where you're supposed to be. And trust me when I say, if you are going through a life change, or if you know there's a change you can make in your life and you're holding yourself back from it, this is the content that you were looking for. I have poured so much of my soul into giving you motivation and comfort that you need throughout this entire episode. If you're ready, excited, and you've made it to this part of the episode and you're on YouTube, I want you to comment a pink heart emoji in the comment section. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, give it a review. Okay, are you ready to get into chapter 2? This is how you are going to become unrecognizable and rebrand yourself with change. I know you have so many boards on Pinterest pinning all the things you want out of your life, everything you hope and dream for, but how do you realistically think you're going to become that without making those hard decisions, those hard changes in your life? Some changes are fun, like changes to your hair, your room, your beauty maintenance routine. And some take a little bit of harder work, like a consistent gym routine, or studying really hard, working long hours, prioritizing work. But the hardest changes of all yield the biggest results. Things like leaving your toxic friends or dumping that boyfriend that you know is not good for you. Healing yourself by facing your traumas and getting help. Or choosing to uproot your entire life and move to your dream city. Changing jobs. Those giant lifestyle changes that you inflict on yourself solely because you know that you want something better are the hardest to stick to, the hardest to actually deliver on, but will lead you to happiness and your biggest glow up yet. Think of any hard moment that you've experienced in your life. How did you feel 6 months after? What did you learn? How did it change you as a person? All of your hard experiences where you thought you were going to die, that it was the end of the world as you know it, you got through and you became better for it. And now when you look back on yourself, you say, I can't believe I acted like that. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I was so scared to do this. And you wish you could go back to your younger self and just shake her and say, if you only knew what is at the end of this tunnel. So how you view your past self going through those changes, view that as your current self. So when you are in a situation where you're fearing the unknown, visualize your older self doing that to you, coming back and saying, it is going to be okay. Your dream life is so close. You are going to make it through this, and you are going to be so happy that you went through this process. And you don't understand it now, but these hard emotions you needed to experience to be able to become and transform into the woman you are today. You are going through character defining moments in your life, and you have a choice. You can either take a risk, make that change, push yourself to do it despite it being hard, or you can stay in the same place and in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, look back on your life and you'll be in the exact same position that you are currently right now. Now tell me what is worse, going through those hard emotions and then becoming your dream self, getting what you want, progressing with your life, or being 45 years old and looking back and being in the exact same position with the exact same friendships that don't go anywhere, with a relationship that does not serve you right now. All because you wanted to remain comfortable. Those people on your dream board are on your dream board because they made changes consistently, because they took risks, because they went through the hard work it took to get to the point where they are. And I'm not saying you have to dive in deep right now and hard launch yourself by making 101 changes, but what you can start doing is by making micro changes in your life to get yourself acquainted with the idea of consistent change. This could look like just switching up your routines. This is proven to make you happier. Things like, if you always wear pink eyeshadow, maybe try a new eyeshadow look. If you always eat chicken, rice, and broccoli for dinner, try up a new recipe. Try taking something different for lunch. Try a different Starbucks order, or try a different cafe altogether. This is your first homework chapter. Your routines that you do every single day. I want you to look for a way to change up one thing in your everyday. And I want this change to be something that you're excited about. Like, look up a delicious Pinterest recipe, or visit a library and romanticize reading a book in it, like you're the main character in a movie. This is going to start changing in your brain the way you view these little changes. So when you are faced with having to make a hard decision in terms of a big life change, you're more open to doing that because you know you're strong. You know you can push through anything. The second homework task I want you to do is write down 3 things that you know you can change in your life to get you to where you want to be. And when I said that, if you got a gut feeling about something, write that down, because I know you're going to be inclined to not want to put that down and put something very surface level. No, I want you to dig deep and really be honest with yourself with the changes that you know you need to make, but they're either really, really uncomfortable or you just don't think they're possible. Quick side note and interruption. My next episode is going to be all about Blair Waldorf, how to become the Blair Waldorf type it girl, and glow up and self-improvement tips that we can take away from her. So if you're interested in listening to that episode of the Get Up and Glow podcast, make sure you're subscribed and don't miss out. Chapter number 3, I'm going to expose the secrets to building it girl level confidence and getting you motivated and ready to face these hard changes. In order to change your life, you need to change its soundtrack. For instance, the way you view your life experiences holds so much power. The biggest, most impactful change that you could make in your life is genuinely changing the way you view the world. You view hard situations, how you see your everyday. For instance, if you think of a movie clip, okay, if they're playing a fun pop song on a little montage, it'd be fun, it'd be uplifting, it'd be motivating, right? But if they did that same movie montage and instead used very sad music along with it, how would that change the way you view that clip? Drastically different. Think of your own thoughts as your soundtrack to your life. If you're faced with something like, let's say you get a lot of criticism at school or at work on something that you did, you can view your little soundtrack to be very depressing, very angry, right? Or you can switch it and think of it as like a positive moment, like the Unwritten song, where instead of you feeling horrible and you being mad at that person that gave you that piece of criticism, you can view it as ways to improve yourself. Fun fact, Mr. Beast took 4 years to get to 1,000 followers. 4 years. And you know how he finally got to the tremendous amount of success that he had? He criticizes the heck out of himself, and he always looks for ways to change, to make improvements instead of fearing that. Change your soundtrack. The most successful people in the world took risks and changes in their 20s. If you look at any interview from anyone who is tremendously successful, one of the things that they will tell you is take risks, make changes in your 20s. And you want to know why? Because in your 20s or younger, that is the best time to make risks because you have the most time to catch up. Not only that, you don't have a family that you need to provide for. You don't have a mortgage to pay in some instances. And let's say you're listening to this and you already have started a family or you already have a house. That is okay. You can still take changes and risks. But if you don't have any of those things, this is the time to really go in and make those intense lifestyle changes to see if it can lead you to a better result because you don't have to worry about so much. I know that change is so hard, and when you are in the midst of it, you might feel like your routines are completely just crumbling down around you. You have no idea what direction you're going to go in life. You feel lost, you feel hopeless. You're wondering, will this even work out? Who am I? I'll tell you who you are. You are somebody that made a very hard decision, which most people would not be able to do. So that in itself, that discipline it took you to go and make that change means you are going to end up creating your dream life because what is meant for you will come. All you have to do is make those hard choices when they're presented to you. Take those opportunities that you know is going to get you closer and further to where you want to be in pursuit of your self-growth, your self-development journey. If you're a member of the Get Up and Glow podcast and you watch the episodes, I know that you already have a lot of self-love. You're working on that. You are working on your confidence. You're becoming a confident girly. And your drive to want to change your life, your drive to want to learn about ways to improve yourself, that is so valuable because the majority of people are not doing that. Because guess what? The majority of people are not taking their free time to go invest in themselves, to learn how to improve themselves, to learn new things about the world, to get them closer to that dream life. Instead, they're sitting on the couch, they're binge watching Netflix, they're drinking a ton, and they're totally content with that, but not you. So when you go and say, oh, well, I want to make this change, but what if I hate that new city that I moved to? Or what if I hate that new job? What if my situation becomes worse than what it is right now? I want you to stop and say to yourself, wait, but what if it does work? What if you become happier as a result? What if you become more confident? What if that is a life-defining decision that you just made that is going to be the difference between you staying the same and you having your dream life? In moments when you fear change, in moments if you wonder if everything is going to work out for you, I want you to stop and visualize yourself having everything that you've dreamt up and going back and talking to you right now and saying, it will work out. You need to trust the process and keep moving forward. I read a quote once and it was like, imagine that you go to heaven, right? And when you're, or whatever higher power that you believe in, and when you are at that front gate, God goes and shows you a little montage of your life, of everything that you could have achieved. And he looks at you and says, this is everything that you could have become. What happened? Don't let your fear of change hold you back from living that montage moment. Okay, let's get into chapter 4, actionable tips for my anxious girlies. Again, it would be great to just flick a switch. Okay, you know what? I listened to this podcast and now my fear of change is completely gone. I am just so excited. I'm so ready, right? The reality is it's not going to happen like that. You are looking for comfort. You're looking for a sign to keep going forward or to make that life decision. So this is your sign. But no matter what way you look at it, it's going to always be hard. But here are my actionable tips to make it a little bit easier. Come back to this podcast. Listen to it when you really need to. Run to Pinterest and pin all of the motivational quotes about change. Save the motivational TikToks to an album. I want you to start making a portfolio on all of the social platforms that you love, that when you are struggling, you go and you just get instant relief. Don't forget that you can do anything, but not everything. Most importantly, the biggest actionable tip is to just start. You're never going to be ready. Stop waiting for the right time because the right time will never come. And what you'll find is the longer you wait, once you have started, you're going to look back and say, why didn't I start sooner? Because that amount of time starting now at a younger age would have given you more at an advantage to build more wealth, to build more success in your later years. And regardless of your age right now, don't wait to start. Just do it. Join that gym, go to that networking event, leave that toxic friend group, go up to that new girl that you really want to be friends with and introduce yourself. Apply to that job that you've always wanted. Start working and studying hard and trying to get into your dream school. Start a YouTube channel. Everyone has that one thing that they are dreaming of or one thing that they really want to do in their life at every stage of their life. So whatever that is for you, just start. And when you're going through a hard time in terms of a big lifestyle change, find a friend that is also going through it. This could be a friend in real life. This could be your digital friend like me. Because once you realize that you're not alone and there's many people going through very similar things as you, or have gone through similar things and they've already made it out, that is going to make the change way less scary and way more bearable. Don't forget that you've already been through so much. So what makes you think that you can't do it again? It is okay to grieve the loss of your past self. And I also want to emphasize the importance of self-care through all of this process. No matter what change you are currently making or wanting to do in the next 60 days to live your dream life, make sure you prioritize self-care. Take a time every single night or a weekday night where no matter what you have on your to-do list, you call it, you stop, and from 9 to 11 p.m., you are going to relax. You're going to do yoga. You're going to journal. You just get all those thoughts out. Because if you truly want to change your life in 60 days, you need to not only be making those micro level habit changes and those bigger lifestyle changes, but you also want to make sure that you're not miserable as a result. Because what is the point of making all of these changes if they're not actually for you? A great way to either inspire you to make that big jump in life or to help make you feel like you're less alone when making those changes is to watch movies like The Devil Wears Prada, The Pursuit of Happiness, Inside Out, Eat, Pray, Love, Brittany Runs a Marathon, and Yes Man. There's so many other movies that have a big theme of changing your life, making those hard decisions, changing your mindset, and how that's going to make you happier as a result. So pick your favorite comfort film and sit back and get inspired. Another huge tip is to dance it out, truly. When you are going through it, when you are unsure what road to take in life, it's like Lizzo says, boss up and change your life. Cultivate a leveling up, a changing my life in 60 days, a rebranding, unrecognizable era playlist, and have those songs be motivational, make you feel like that girl, make you hyped up and ready to make these hard changes. Music holds so much power to get you inspired, so don't sleep on that. Never forget that you hold the power to change your life. If you want to be unrecognizable in 60 days, start right now. Start by investing in yourself. Start by showing up for yourself. Start by making those tiny changes and that big change that you have been sleeping on. You can do it and you will do it. It might suck as you might view the next 60 days as a very hard, sad, unconventional time to be going through something very stressful. But again, it has to get worse before it gets better. You have to go through the hard emotions to come out of it better on the other side. Change is good, and if you want to become your dream woman, you need to embrace that fact. You are not alone. For your homework, I want you to go back and look at those 3 things that you wrote down that you know will lead you to your dream life. And I want you to take one small actionable step every single week to get you to where you want to be. Take those 3 macro level goals, those macro level changes, and break them down into smaller things you can do to work your way up to that big change. Keep making daily progress. Show yourself discipline. Discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love because it doesn't come easy, but it yields so much results. And each week, as you make more and more changes towards those 3 macro level goals, you'll find that in 60 days, you're a whole new you. You're not alone. I am so proud of you and I believe in you. XOXO, your glow up fairy godmother.